Hey, welcome back, my friend. My name is Danny Dumas, and this is the Earn Your Title podcast. I've got a question. When was the last time you did something for the first time? This is a very powerful question that I got from my friend, Sean Corvell. If you've ever done a Tough Mudder, you go into the chute, and they have the big starting line. They got this music just pumping you up. You know, you're going to sing the national anthem, and then this guy, Sean is going to show up. He's going to talk about hard work, dedication, how that we're all out there to make each other better. He's going to ask you this question. When was the last time you did something for the first time? And it's a really powerful question. And for me, the answer to that was yesterday. Yesterday, I did a half marathon with my daughter. And I guess technically I've ran a half marathon before, but I've never done it as a race. And today I want to talk about the importance of having a starting line. You know, I think as we get older, we go through the motions and things just aren't very different, and every day can look and feel exactly the same. And I think sometimes as we get older, we look back at our youth and think, man, that was it, man. That was just, high school was amazing. And I think part of that is because you continually were tested. You had something to look forward to. You had assignments and grades and things you had to learn, and, games that were coming up. And as adults, we don't really always get that. You go to work, you do your job, you come home, you go to work, you do your job, come home. And so we don't have that thing in the future that we're looking forward to, or maybe we're dreading a little bit. And so today, let's talk about, that starting line. So for me, it was a half marathon. My daughter, back in probably March, she said, "Dad, I think I want to try to run a marathon." And I said, "Well, that's a pretty big event. I had done that probably 10 years ago, and I knew the amount of training." And I said, "What about a half marathon?" She's like, "Oh yeah, okay, that would be cool." So I put it out on Facebook, more the merrier, and I asked a bunch of people, "Hey, who would be interested in running a half marathon?" I found a training program, put it out there, and me and my daughter, we started running, and then we failed drastically. We did run. I looked it up. Since March, I have run 16 times for a total of 43 miles, which if you're familiar with a marathon or a half marathon, that is not enough. That is not what they would recommend. Now, I did do 29 walking workouts, and I walked 65 miles. So that is good, but I wasn't completely ready. And, there's lots of people that said, "Yeah, I'd really like to do this, but I only had one other friend that actually signed up for the race." And so yesterday, I knew I wasn't ready in the sense that I'm going to knock this out of the park. But I signed up. I made a commitment to my daughter. And so I put my toe on the starting line, and I started running the race. And it was kind of cool. Like, I was planning on running about 6 miles with her. I'm like, okay, we'll run 6 miles, and then we'll walk the rest. Well, 6 miles comes. We're good. 7, 8. We get to 8 miles. I'm like, man, I'm okay. Like, I was a little sore. I'm like, my daughter's name is Matilda. We call her Tinky. I'm like, Tinky, how are you feeling? She's like, I'm feeling good. And so we ran the entire half marathon. I ran it without training. And this is, side note, the power of general fitness is pretty awesome. I am in okay shape. I consistently do something 3 days a week. And I don't want to brag, but I did okay. Like, I am really sore today, and I knew that was going to be the case, but I ran 13.1 miles, basically without stopping. We walked up, it was a loop, so we walked up this big hill twice. We stopped to get water. We stopped at one bathroom break, and both of us got a rock in our shoe, so at 2 different points we had to stop. But besides that, we ran the whole way. And the reason we did that, and the reason I feel good about myself today, is because I had a starting line. And I want to encourage you to put something out in the future, make a commitment, and sign up. So what is the power of that start line in your life? And it doesn't have to be a race. It could be a certificate. You've been working for a while, and there's something you really want to do. Go back to school, get the certificate. It could just be that there's things around your house that you want to get done. And so I've got a hack for you on that. Your starting line for getting things done around the house is to plan a party. Plan a party where you're going to invite lots of people, and there's nothing more motivating than knowing all your friends are coming over and you still haven't finished the trim in the bathroom. So, set up. So what are the benefits? Well, I think it creates clarity and focus. That's number one. When you don't have a date, I should do it someday, never happens. Someday never happens. So by putting a concrete deadline on something gives you that just something's that's going to happen and I have to do it. The other benefit, if it really gives you the power of, thinking with the end in mind, that Stephen Covey, begin with the end in mind, it allows you to work backwards. A race is a really easy analogy, but I have to run 13.1 miles. How many times do I need to run between now and, let's say it's 100 days from now to get to the point where 13.1 miles is doable? I start with, if I start with 1 mile a day and then I add 2 miles a day, you can see how that would work. The other thing, and this is kind of a mixed bag here, but there's some accountability by putting it out there. And I did that with that half marathon. I put it out, hey, I'm going to do this. Who would like to go out there with me and do it? Maybe this doesn't work for you, but for me it does. Maybe it's my pride, but if I say I'm going to do something and I make it public, I put it on social media, I really do it. It really does motivate me. I don't want to be seen as a failure. And maybe that's, I don't know if it's pride or ego or whatever it is, but for me, that's a powerful tool. And there's a kind of a funny thing about running a marathon. Do you know how you can tell someone has run a marathon? So don't worry, they'll tell you, right? I'm not talking about bragging of what I did, but putting it out there and making a verbal, open commitment that's, time stamped on social media can be really, really powerful. That's the power of a start line. You need start lines in your life. So what does a start line look like? A start line is definitive date. It has actionable steps to get you from here to there. And it is something that I think could make you slightly uncomfortable. If it's too easy and you could just do it in 10 minutes, you don't need it out in the future. You don't need to plan and prepare. But I really think the thing that you're going to put out there should be something that's going to make you slightly uncomfortable. And I looked at my training log. I had not run more than 4 miles. 13.1 definitely made me uncomfortable. So what is it for you? What is that goal? What is that dream that you've always wanted to do? Find a date in the future and don't make it like 5 years. In 5 years, I want to run a marathon. If you want to lose 10 pounds, give it 90 days. In 90 days, I will lose 10 pounds. What does that mean? It means I need to lose this much weight per week, and I'm going to do that by doing this, this, and this. It just really focuses you. So don't make it too far in the future. Don't make it too easy. You should be a little bit scared when you get to the line, but just do it. The one guy, I've ran with my daughter, and then there's one other guy, Will. Hopefully he's listening. I was so proud of him. Will had never signed up for a race, no 5Ks, no 10Ks, no 1 miler, never done anything like that in his entire life, and he signed up for a half marathon. And you know what? He didn't run it, he finished it. And that was awesome. He did something. He was faster than every single person that didn't sign up for a marathon yesterday. And Will, if you're listening to this, buddy, I am proud of you. And it was way out of his comfort zone. And now Will is a better, stronger, more mentally capable person because he signed up. He put something on the start line. He signed up for something and he executed. That start line is a contract with yourself. And this can be a challenging thing with some of us. And I've done this where I've said, I'm going to do this, and then I fail. And I fail myself. And the failure is not that I didn't get the results. That's not failure. It's that I didn't try like I said I would. And if you're like me, I want to lose weight or I want to get out of debt, and you don't really try, that's a pretty dangerous thing to do. And maybe that's why you currently aren't signing up for anything. You don't have any start lines because, man, I just feel like I failed myself over and over and over again, and I almost don't trust myself. I'm asking you to get away from that. And maybe this makes it so that you start small, but don't lie to yourself. If you're going to make a commitment to yourself, keep it. It is probably the most important person in the world that you could commit to is yourself. Don't make yourself a liar. So, in recap, I am challenging you today to think about what you want out of your life. It could be a financial goal, a career goal, a relationship goal, or a physical goal. And whatever one you really want to focus on, 90 days in the future, 100 days in the future, maybe 120 days, depending how big the goal is, I want you to sign up for something. Put it on your calendar. Commit to it. After you've committed to it, I want you to take a good, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, and work backwards from that goal. What needs to be true for me to be able to step up to the start line and execute on the plan that I want? And then once you have the plan, I want you to share it. It doesn't necessarily have to be on social media, but you need a friend. Send it to me. My email is danny@dannydumas.com. Say, hey, Danny, I am going to lose 30 pounds in the next 120 days. This is my plan. I'm going to sign up for a Tough Mudder. I'm going to get some certificate at work that I've been putting off. I'm going to have a party, and I'm going to fix all the trim in my entire house. What is it? Send it to me. Send it to a friend, and then do it. No, and this is what the important part. I was not physically prepared like I would like to for that half marathon. I wish I had put way more time into it. The summer happened, life happened. I don't want to say I wasn't able. I chose not to. I'm going to take responsibility. I chose not to get in as good a shape as I could have to run that marathon. But I made a commitment, and so I lined up to the line, and I was successful. Now, I could have failed, and I have failed. I tried to do a 50-mile race one time. I did 36 miles. I failed completely. I went home. I just quit. I wasn't ready. I didn't earn it, right? I didn't put the time in, but I did step up to the line, and that's the important part. The failure, I could look back and talk about, why I didn't do this or why I didn't do that. And that's important too. And actually my next podcast is going to be talking about the finish line. But stepping up to the line and then just going for it. Maybe you'll be successful. Maybe you won't. But you committed to yourself and you did it. That's all I'm asking you to do. So find something and do it. Something else you could do that would really help me out is I'm trying to get some more ratings and reviews for this podcast. It will help me share the show so more people can hear it. And I would really appreciate it if you did that. So my name is Danny Dumas, and this is the Earn Your Title Podcast, and I will talk to you later. Bye.